Howdy folks, and thanks for tuning in. Put together a little presentation about some problems I was having with my 2013 Ford Expedition experiencing a shudder and a skip. I'm going to go through the troubleshooting that I did to identify the problems and the solutions that helped me ultimately resolve the issues. So a little bit of background. First, the unit was purchased new in January of 2014, and I'm the only owner of the vehicle. In May of 2021, around 100,000 miles, the engine begins to shudder and skip. Seems to happen at random times. Loss of power, and there were no codes from the PCM. Plugs had been changed at 76,000 miles, and we'll get into a little bit more about plugs towards the end of this presentation. Seemed to be caused by a loss of fuel pressure. The issue only lasted 3 to 5 seconds each time it happened. So we had a big event. One day on the way to work, the vehicle died at the end of my road and would not restart. It was right at 102,000 miles. Based upon the research that I had done for the skip problem, I had already purchased a replacement fuel pressure module to install. Temporarily installed that module, but it made no change. Found that the 20 amp fuse for the fuel pump was blown. So I changed the fuse and swapped the fuel pump relay with the window heater relay just in case. And the vehicle ran fine for the next few weeks, still had the little bit of shudder and skip from time to time. Finally, I got a code. A few months later, at 106,000, the engine cut off for about 10 seconds and then recovered. I got the P0627 code from the PCM, fuel pump A control circuit open. Possible causes of that code in order of likelihood are wiring, the fuel pump module, and the fuel pump itself. So I went ahead and replaced the fuel pump module, and the vehicle ran much better. However, it was still an ongoing issue. Over the next several months, the vehicle still continued to shudder and skip during high load. Still no codes from the PCM. I used the torque app and confirmed that the skip was occurring only when the engine load was greater than 75%. So here's a picture of that app and showing the engine load at 28%. Again, I noticed the skip was happening at loads of 75% or greater. I also noticed that the ethanol concentration that I was showing was as high as 22.5. Now this diagram shows the regular ethanol content of 9.8% that's expected, but at different fill-ups I had gotten anything from 16 all the way up to 22.5%. So I suspected I had high ethanol fuel causing the problem. After filling up at several different stations and torque reporting that content greater than 10%, I contacted my state agricultural department. The agricultural department of my state is responsible for inspecting all the fuel stations in our state and certifying that their pumps operate properly and are providing the proper fuel quality. The inspector sampled the fuel from all 5 fuel stations I used, and all the samples came back under 10% ethanol content. So I did some further research and found out that my vehicle does not have an ethanol sensor. According to the Ford Flex Fuel General Service Bulletin, which I'll include in the links at the bottom of this video, on 2004 model year and newer Ford vehicles, the Flex Fuel sensor and module have been deleted and the ethanol percentage is now inferred. This flex fuel inferred value is calculated using the short-term fuel trim, long-term fuel trim, mass airflow, and air-fuel ratio stoichiometric value over time. In other words, as the engine operates and makes adjustments to obtain the correct stoichiometric air-fuel ratio, it learns the ethanol content in the fuel. If you'd like to learn more about the stoichiometric air-fuel ratio, you can search for other videos on YouTube about that. It really pertains to how the oxygen sensors work and how that is used by the PCM and the feedback from the oxygen sensors to target the proper air-fuel ratio to reach the stoichiometric value. So ethanol detection in the PCM only makes adjustments when the system detects a significant fuel fill or more than 10% change in the fuel tank level and believes that that fuel in the lines has been used. That inferred ethanol content affects the injector fuel pump pulse width in open and closed loop operation and also applies during cranking. An incorrect high ethanol content percentage inferred can cause the engine to believe it is running rich and therefore reduce the fuel delivered, causing a lean running condition. What else can cause an incorrect high inferred ethanol content? Low fuel pressure. So after learning all of this, I didn't even bother checking the fuel pressure. With 100,000 miles on the vehicle, I just changed the fuel pump. On the Expedition, that's quite a job because the tank must be lowered. There's no bed to remove for easy access like on the F-Series pickup trucks from Ford with this engine. The job took me almost 8 hours. Had to learn how to disconnect various fuel fittings. The harness had to be removed with the tank only halfway down because the harness wasn't long enough for the tank to be all the way lowered, and the fuel pump connector had a special locking tab on it that I had to get in the right position to remove that connection. I used a special tool to remove the fuel pump ring to get the fuel pump out, and it was absolutely worth the $20 I spent on it. And I will provide links to both the fuel pump part number and that special tool at the bottom of the video in the comments. This is a picture of the fuel pump removed from the fuel tank and the tank out of the vehicle. I will provide some links in the comments to documents from the Ford manual showing the process for removing the tank and the pump in a real quick step-by-step. First thing is to remove the filler hose connection, then to remove the evap hose connection for the fuel cap. Next, to remove the evap connection on the evap canister, the fuel hose connection between the tank and the engine, and then partially lower the tank and disconnect the harness to get the tank completely out of the vehicle. And then once that is done, you clean off the top of the tank really good and remove the pump. You want to make sure the top of the tank is clean because you don't want any dirt to get down inside the fuel tank itself. After the new pump, the vehicle ran much better than it had previously, but there was still a slight miss at loads above 75%. It's not nearly as bad as it happened previously, but this still caused the engine to downshift anytime it got over a load of 75%. Hard acceleration was also a bit skippy. So at this point, I decided to employ what I call the World War II solution. Japanese plugs, NGK Iridium, and German coil packs from Bosch. And after this change, everything runs perfectly, downshifts much less frequently, and no discernible skip at any part of the RPM range, from fast acceleration to using cruise control on the interstate. But something that was interesting beyond that was a little bit of the spark plug analysis. The previous plugs that I had used were the Motorcraft SP509 Platinum. Now, all 8 plugs showed sign of a lean fuel condition. If you look at the plugs that were pulled out, these are the Motorcraft Platinum plugs. Very little discoloration after 40,000 miles being in the vehicle, and that white color indicates the cylinders ran hot or in a lean condition. The ceramic down around the actual spark electrode should have a much more consistent brown color across it if it was not running lean. And this kind of confirmed what I had suspected with the fuel pump and fuel pump pressure. But going further was the change in the plug gap. It was very interesting after only 40,000 miles. So, as you may know, spark plug gap deteriorates over time. It is allowed to be increased by 64 to 12.7 ten-thousandths of an inch per 1,000 miles driven. And this is because with each fire of the coil pack, some of the material in the electrode is being worn away. Now this chart shows the results of the plugs that I pulled out of this vehicle. And as you look at the blue bars represent the amount of gap that was lost, and it is all pretty close to the low end tolerance of the gap range that was mentioned previously, and that is shown by the blue dashed lines. However, the overall gap was almost 50% above the spec range that is shown in the red dashed lines. That is the gap spec from Ford for these plugs when they're installed new. So after doing a little bit more research, I put together this chart that shows the gap increases for various mileages. Ford recommends a 100,000 mile interval, which would mean a gap increase of 158 to 317% over that 100,000 miles. That increased gap requires more power from the coil packs, and it also shortens the coil pack life. So I suspect that the combination of me waiting till 76,000 miles for the first spark plug change and the lean condition from the fuel pump contributed to issues with the coil packs that led to the skip that I had after the fuel pump had been replaced. And for that reason, I'm going to continue to use the iridium plugs, but I'm going to change them now at 50,000 miles or less. Well, I hope this video was helpful to some of you, and you learned a little bit through what I went through to diagnose this particular issue of shudder and skip on my 2013 Ford Expedition. I wish you much luck in troubleshooting your own problems and hope you're successful in resolving them. Take care now.